Welcome back to the channel. We're back on the TL1000R where we took the clutch cover off. It's 8mm bolts, pretty simple. It has a rubber seal on the back, and then you have the appears to be 10mm bolts. Yep, 10mm bolts holding the clutch spring in. I want to inspect this clutch because it just doesn't feel right. So let's remove this pressure plate and see what we have. These aren't on very tight, so when you put them back on, don't go crazy on them because you can't strip the hole there. It's only aluminum. I'm hoping it's worn clutch plates, or clutch frictions, I should say, because this the clutch lever just does not feel right. Usually you get a little more travel in the lever before it starts trying to move on you. Push rod and your bearings. Whenever you take these apart, take pictures. If you're doing it the first time, make sure your push rod has the bearings on there, because if you drop them, you may lose them. And then keep note that this outside plate friction here goes in between the notches at the end, and the other ones go line up in the middle. Ooh, that is burnt. Yeah, there's not much left. Man, that got hot. All the clutch plates itself are all hot and burnt. You can see all the bluing. It gets worse as we get closer. And look at all that bluing. This clutch is gone. So I don't know how many miles are on it. Motorcycles, unfortunately, they get crashed, and speedos get destroyed. So you can, on these particular years, you can just go out and buy one and plug it in, and that's it. It works. I'm not sure about the newer ones. They might be coated like a car or something, and it'll issue maybe a warning light or something. I don't know. I've been out of the bike business for a while now, 15 plus years, so I don't know what's out there as far as new technology. I do know the new keys are coated and shit, and so You have to, you can't just swap out an ignition system, an ignition lock, gas cap, and all that stuff on the newer ones without programming it or something from a dealer or whatnot. And these, I mean, the frictions don't look bad. It's just the clutch plates are gone. It got really hot. Must have been doing a bunch of wheelies on this thing. And it will do it pretty easily. These things are awesome. A lot of torque. Let me get a pick. Can't get in there. Whew, that one is lots of purple in there. Frictions don't look bad, but just replace them anyway. There's a lot of them in here. Let's look back in. First friction. Starts off with the plate. Can't get in. Come on. All right, and then the last. Looks like the last friction. That's in there. So the last friction is small, and that goes up to the pressure plate. Ooh. I don't like that. I do not like that. Sounds like it would clank and clank, clank, clank as it goes around. So I'll have to research that. That just doesn't look right to me. I've never seen a basket do that before. But then again, this is my first TL1000R that I've actually torn into. Well, as far as the engine clutch assembly. Usually these have fuel injection problems long before they have mechanical problems. And is there another one back there? That's the plate. Yeah, that's the plate. Alright, so I'm gonna research if that's normal, because that doesn't sound normal. The basket looks pretty good. There's no damage. Usually they get beat up. They get beat up inside the channel here from excessive wheelies, popping the clutch, etc. And then, but that's tight. It's nice and tight. So the keys looks good. It's just this is an unknown. That worries me. All right, so I'll get the clutches on order, and then I'll start researching if that's normal or not. All right, did some research online, and I guess it looks like this is supposed to do that. So I've never seen that before. I've taken apart many early 2000s GSXR 600s, 750s, and 1000s, and I've never seen a clutch basket do that. So I guess that's the spring housing. So yeah. Anyway, I just ordered a Barnett clutch kit. That's all I can really find. Everywhere else they were selling the plates. They're steel separate from the clutch plates, and then this one comes with the Barnett clutch kit. Also comes with the little stiffer springs to give a little more bite on the clutch. There is a spring inside of here that I did not take out. I don't need to. That is staying in there. So that the last thinner plate slides right above that spring. That spring's there just to kind of put some tension against the clutch packs, so it releases better. And then it goes on a specific way. I did not remove it, so if you do remove that, make sure you put it on the correct way. Let me see if I can. I'll just remove it so you guys can see it. That's a pain in the ass to get your fingers in here. There we go. So that is I don't know what you could call it, a spacer, a spring, a shim, but it has to go. It's kind of concave like that. You can see it. It has to go that way. Do not flip it over. You must bring it this way. We'll just put that back on before I lose it, because my kids are coming in and out of this garage to get to the yard. So it's if it sits on the floor, I'm afraid they'll lose it. So I'm just gonna keep it in there, and now we just wait for the clutch kit to come in. I'm hoping in a couple days we'll have it, and then the other parts will start coming in, and we can get this motorcycle back on the road. Everything looks good on it. Yeah, the tires are a bit old. There's a lot of tread on the front tire, but it is dry rotted. So when I sell it, I'll make a note of that when I sell it. I'm not one of those sellers that BS. I will not sell a motorcycle and endanger somebody. So, I mean, as long as I let them know the issues with the bike, which there won't be any, you know, minus the dry rotted tires, but we're coming up on really cold weather here soon, so I don't plan on anybody riding it home if they do purchase it. So we will see you next time, probably in a couple more days. Thanks, guys. And girls, of course. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We're back on the TL1000R. I ordered a bunch of parts, and a lot of them still have not come in, especially the clutch. I don't know when that's going to show up, maybe another 3 to 5 days. I did receive some parts. The new seat, the back seat, big deal. That takes all but 30 seconds. I did get a new lock set, so we'll go ahead, of course I just dropped it, we'll go ahead and put that on today. And I received the new chain, and it's blue, matches the bike. So let's start with that. We'll start with the chain. I already have the back end jacked up, so let's start disassembling this and get the chain on. And I do have a set of sprockets as well, front and rear. We'll replace those as well because the chain is shot. It's rusted. It's been sitting outside, and the links are binding or frozen. So let's start on it. All right, let's get the back wheel off here. Need a big wrench. Get that nut off. I wish I had the space for a lift, but unfortunately this one spot, the one car garage that's remaining, my truck sits in during my concrete season, so I have no place to put an actual lift and store it there. So we have to take the front sprocket cover off. It also has the clutch slave cylinder in there as well. And there's probably not probably, there should be a long tube in there that actually pushes the clutch. Let me get the big old hammer. Shouldn't say hammer, I should say rubber mallet. Yeah, looks like that thing's seen its days. Hoping to have that clutch on, but I don't know, the parts, it's been a week since my last video and the parts just did not come. Chain is toast. So the sprocket, rear sprocket's the easiest part to change. We'll save that for later. And let's get some tools to get that front sprocket cover off. Get the jack out of the way here. Get this out of there so you guys can see it a little better. Yeah, it's up as minor. All right, it looks like, I can barely see in there. It's like 8mm. Looks like one is missing. 8mm. And of course, my 8mm on the other side. Looks like we've got to take the shifter linkage out too. Of course, they got to change that one to 10. In there so we don't lose it. Alright, that one's loose, that one's loose. It feels like I'm missing one here. Alright, I gotta take the sleeve cylinder out because it's blocking it. Brought all the tools around. It's tight. I don't think this one has very many mileage. I think it's like just over 10,000. Looks like it's been sitting most of its life. That one is longer. This one's longer, this one's shorter. Get out of there, come on. Suckers on there. Let go. Gotta get a different persuader here. There it goes. See, there's a spacer on the other side where the long bolt is. We'll just let that dangle. Oh, it's pretty nasty in there. Now, what is holding on there? There's no bolt there. This dangle there, and there is the sprocket, the chain. You got the nut, and then you actually have the speed sensor, or the wheel. That's the speed sensor. That's the wheel for the speed sensor. That's what triggers it. All right, so we need a big Allen